fast approaching the Passover weekend, world-changing, history-changing, life-changing, where Jesus was crucified, died, was buried, and then rose again. This is the weekend that we're celebrating. But today in the traditional churches, something is celebrated on this day, and they call it Maundy Thursday. Maundy Thursday has got 5 aspects to it: the table, the towel, the pattern, the command, and the will. Of course, taken from John chapter 13. What a powerful passage of scripture. The word Maundy comes from the Latin word mandatum, meaning command or mandate. And of course, the command or the mandate was taken directly from the words of Jesus himself in John chapter 13 and verse 34, where he said, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another." You see, on this night, Jesus Christ stood right on the verge of crucifixion, and he chose to reveal what matters most. And the first was the table. John says, Jesus, knowing that his hour had come, that he should depart from this world to the Father, and that having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. Not just the end of this night, not just the end of what we call communion or the Lord's table. No. He loved them to the end of his life, to the point of death. So before suffering, there is love. Before the cross, there is covenant. He loved them to the end. Not partially, not conditionally. No, to the end. And then there's the towel. John records that Jesus rose from the supper, laid aside his garments, took a towel, girded himself, and after that he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet. You see, the one who laid aside his glory now first lays aside his garments before he lays aside his life. The king takes the place of a servant. Greatness is redefined in a single act. Not a position, but a posture. Not status, but service. And of course, this releases or reveals the pattern. John continues. He says, Jesus said, "For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you." This wasn't just a moment. It's a model. Not just something to admire, but something to imitate. And of course, it follows on from the command. A new command I've given you, that you love one another as I have loved you. And here it is. By this, all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love one for another. You see, Maundy Thursday, the mandate, the command, this is the mark of the church. Not gifts, not knowledge, but love. Visible, tangible, undeniable. And then lastly, there's the will. It's not recorded in this chapter, the next, but still the same night, it leads him to a place of surrender, where in intense agony in the Garden of Gethsemane, he prays, "Not my will, but yours be done." You see, before the cross was carried, it had to be accepted. Before the nails were driven, his will needed to be yielded. Maundy Thursday is not just remembrance, it's a call. Live from his love, walk in his humility, follow his example, and surrender your will, because the power of the cross begins with a yielded heart.